Hey, welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. Don't go away. I have two very special guests from New Beginnings in Benton, Arkansas, and we'll be right back. Welcome to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. I'm your host, Perry Black. On this show, as stated in the introduction, we're kind of like a search mint. Two guests in one. So our special guest is Janet Dixon and Chris Ely that are involved with New Beginnings. Thank goodness they wore their name tag, so I know who I'm talking to about what. But we want to welcome you to the show. And this show is designed for people to be informed about different resources specifically in Arkansas, in our case, Central Arkansas, even though this show through technology now airs around the world. And we want to say thank you for watching this show. And I would love for you to reach out with an email, a little note. You don't even have to put your return address on there. Just put your name, first name, and just say, hey, we watched the show. We appreciate what you're doing. And then when you're writing that note, would you just say a prayer for what God is using us to do to impact foster care? Now, our special guest on this show is not directly involved in foster care, but as a result of some of the things they do, some of the children may enter foster care. So Janet, tell me a little bit about you. How long have you been involved at New Beginnings, and what is your official title?
Well, I'm officially the executive director. And I've been the executive director since April of 2020. And then I was the nurse manager 2 years prior to that. So
you were the nurse manager. That leads some people on set to believe you may be a nurse.
I'm a nurse.
Registered nurse?
Yes, I'm a registered nurse.
Did you have a specific field of which you were used in nursing?
Yes, I loved pediatrics was my first love.
Yeah.
But I soon got into like adolescence, and so I got my master's in maternal child health, public health, and in nursing. So women and children, that's kind of my jam.
Has that been a passion for most of your life? Nurses, my mom was a nurse. I can go a long list of people in my family that are nurses, but they're very caring people. And what was your passion growing up that took you down that field? You remember? Do you have a family member that was a nurse?
No, I did. I was a candy striper one year.
There you go. What hospital?
At North Little Rock Baptist. Back then it was called Memorial Hospital.
Yeah. And
so I loved science and math. I thought I wanted to be a vet. So
yeah, my daughter wanted to be a vet. I want to buy a vet. Chris, what about you?
You
want to buy a vet? I'd love a vet. I saw a vet pass me yesterday, and I said, honey, there goes an old guy. They're all old guys. Here's a cool sports car. Today it was a lady in a BMW. Real cool convertible. Top was up, canvas top. And she drove by and went, honey, it's an older lady, because only older people can legitimately, perhaps, possibly afford one.
Right.
But Chris, tell me about you. You are involved in some ways with Janet and the New Beginnings, which is kind of a crisis pregnancy program. So how would you be involved as a man, as a guy, in that program?
Well, I also was a candy striper at one point, but I did not become a nurse.
Were you really a candy striper?
I really was, believe it or not.
That is cool. So you were thinking about the medical field?
No. My mom actually worked at a hospital for a brief
What
moment.
hospital was that?
I think it was Baptist.
Baptist.
Yeah, I just did it for a summer just to have something to do. But no, I a couple of years ago, I started looking for places to serve.
Yeah.
I had some free time, and I wanted to be in a place where I could serve people and invest in people's lives. And as I was looking around, I came across New Beginnings website and realized they had a fatherhood program. And that was just kind of dear to my heart. I've had a lot of conversations with other men about men's plight in society today and kind of where manhood is and fatherhood is and those kind of things. And all those conversations for me ended up with, well, what do I do? What do we do? How do we do this? This is this large society problem. what does Chris do here locally to actually make a difference? And it felt overwhelming. I mean, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to start. And I found New Beginnings, and I went and met with Janet, and I realized they had a fatherhood program, just God called me there, and I've been there since last summer, so just under a year or so.
Summer of 2025?
Volunteering.
Well, now, I've known Janet only because of New Beginnings, and our church ministry supports them. And of course, I've interviewed her on this show before. But how do we know each other? Can you remember how far that goes back?
A little bit, yeah. We, Lee and I went to school together at Bryant, and I remember when Family Church started in the strip mall, and my wife and I have been part of Family Church for a long time. Started the school, saw Second Ranch start.
Your wife taught at Arkansas Christian Academy during the very first 2 years, 24 years ago.
Very first years. Actually, before the show, I was just recounting with Janet how my son who went here, I don't remember what age he was, but he gave himself a swirly in one of the bathrooms downstairs.
He's going to love it.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome, bud.
Yeah, I had some teenagers. Some parents got frustrated with me, but because of this. But 2 or 3 of them, you know how their rumbles are. I don't like these uniforms and all these rules around here at Arkansas Christian Academy. I want to go to public school. I went in chapel, and I was really kind of frustrated and irritated, because we give so much to make this possible. And I said, you won't be at a public school a week before they give you a swirly. Now, a swirly is when they take your head, stick it in the toilet, and flush it. And of course, they went home. You won't believe what Pastor Perry said today. But I was just telling them straight up, that happens, doesn't it? I'm not sure I've ever seen a kid give their own swirly.
Right.
I don't know. It's a great story now. So.
Yeah. So I've known you, though. You and your wife, Stacy, you came to my house before y'all were married. You used to sit around up against the wall on the floor. I had a swimming pool. I don't know that you ever swam in it, but I put it in so teenagers would come to my house. And so we've known each other, without giving away your age, we've probably known each other about 32 years or so.
Probably.
At least 32.
At least that.
And y'all went off to college when you were single.
We did.
OBU or somewhere?
We both went to OBU.
Yeah.
And then my wife went to graduate school in northern Louisiana.
Yeah.
And so we were in Louisiana for a few years. And then thankfully got to make it back to Arkansas, Lane County.
And then 24 plus years ago, the Lord laid it on my heart to start a school. And we looked out and stood up in the congregation and said, we're going to start a Christian school. Some people wept. I still cry because it is a lot of work. Like right now while we're talking, we probably have about 550 students here, another 50, 75 staff members, but life is worth giving it away. We're going to take a break here in a minute, but you all are directly involved, I guess I'd say on a daily basis, saving lives that may not even be out of the womb yet. And so we want to talk about that a little bit. So before we do, give us a website, and then we're going to come back and talk about some other stuff. Give us a website or some information.
Our website that we want young women and men to find is NB, like New Beginnings, pregnancy.com. But the website that we want the community to see, and donors and people that want to come to events or want to help us, is friends.nbpregnancy.com.
NB. And so we'll take a break and be right back.
A mission field around you is filled with young hearts needing a forever family. And at Second Chance Youth Ranch, our team is committed to providing healthy, stable, loving homes and families to hurting children in the Arkansas foster care system and those up for adoption. Please contact us if you feel the tug at your heart to help foster or adopt, and find out the steps you could take to help fulfill a child's lifelong dream. Maybe you can't foster or adopt, but you could help. The need for thousands of children in the system is staggering. But with the help of faithful partners and business alliances, we are meeting those needs right now. Would you help us make a difference? Every gift, regardless of size, impacts a child's life directly and helps provide for a home in the gap right now. Visit the Second Chance Youth Ranch website at 2CYR.org to read more, watch the stories, and to make a contribution for a hurting child's care. Monthly partners are needed, so please contact us right away. And as you partner with this ministry, You are partnering with the Heavenly Father that has promised to be Father to the fatherless. God bless you for helping Second Chance Youth Ranch.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. If you're just joining us, once again, thank you to Victory Television Network for allowing us to be on the air, sharing about fostering, mentoring, and adopting and saving unborn lives with our guest on this show. And we'd love to hear from you. Would you just drop me an email? If you don't want to send an email, just drop me a note. Don't even have to put your address on there. Just put your name, your first name, or your last name. Just let us know this show is important to you and for us to be on the air, and I'll share that with Victory Television Network. Our guests, Chris Ely and Janet Dixon from New Beginnings Center in Benton, Arkansas. And so, Janet, tell me a little bit about New Beginnings. How long's it been around? So is it really New Beginnings? And
Not.
and you've been there involved a number of years, but what does New Beginnings do for young women and husbands that are, quote, in waiting and trying to figure all this out with a baby probably in the bake shop?
Okay. Yeah, it was started in 2003
Wow.
by some women of the community that just wanted to do something to help those people that are facing unplanned pregnancies.
Okay.
And it started with clothing and diapers and that sort of thing. Around 2006, I think they moved to the location where we are now. And then in 2016, we started doing ultrasounds.
Let me interrupt.
Okay.
Where your location is now, where is that?
It's right off of South Street in Benton.
Okay.
It's on South Conrad, sorry.
Okay, right on the corner.
We're really close to the corner.
Yeah.
Pretty close to the skating rink and laundromat. So
Is the skate rink still a skate rink? Because
It
at one
is
time
again,
it
actually.
was a church for a season helping those in need, and now it's back to being a
back
skate
to
rink.
being a skating rink.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, we're there, and
You have hours of operation, days of operation?
we're open 3 days a week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Okay.
from 9 to 4:30. And we still have the clothing, diapers, formula, those type of material assistance for people up to age 2. So
With children up to age 2?
yes, those. So babies, unborn babies, and then preparing for them, and then the parents are welcome to come weekly until their child is 2. So we want to really support those early years with parenting, Bible studies, and material assistance.
Do y'all do is it called a sonogram where they do the jelly on the belly?
We do that.
Do y'all do that?
So we do to confirm pregnancy. Really, we are the first stop because they can come to us since everything is free at New Beginnings. We don't bill insurance. We don't take real dollars. So they can come to us when they just found out they're pregnant.
All right, hold the phone. How can it be free? Where do you get your support?
Well, we get support from churches like Family Church.
So you mean if somebody's watching, a business person, an individual, a Sunday school group, a church, they could actually help y'all help
Absolutely.
and save a life that's still in the womb?
Yes.
So give me that information again, because as you speak, I'm just going to kind of do like this with my hand and watch what happens on the screen.
Right. It is friends.nbpregnancy.com.
Like Vanna White.
Kind of like Vanna. So on that website, which you can't get to by Googling New Beginnings, you'll find our client-facing website if you Google us. But it's friends. So our friends,
Are y'all high tech and have a phone number too?
we also have a phone number.
Let's have that.
It's 501-315-5557.
Say that one more time.
501-315-5557.
And you're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
And we're a nonprofit, 501c3. We're a faith-based organization. We have a statement of faith, but we're independent.
Do I need an appointment? A young lady
We
need an
love
appointment?
to have appointments because then we know what to expect.
What if I'm in an emergency and
But
I
we
just
don't require appointments.
so you can come by?
Everybody can just come in. And we will even come in. We saw a client yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're not open on Mondays, but if that's the day they're off from work and when they need to be seen, we'll come on the weekend, we'll come at the night, we'll come in whatever.
So if the father of the baby maybe they're not married yet, maybe they are. He comes with his expecting wife. There's resources for him as well.
Yes.
Is that kind of where Chris
I can
steps
be like
into the
Vanna.
picture? Yeah.
Absolutely. Having a fatherhood ministry at a pregnancy center is, in the last 10 years, has kind of started picking up speed, especially in the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And so, in the past, fathers sometimes just sit in the parking lot, come in the lobby. It's like walking in a store. You had no idea there was something there that you could buy, but then
Yeah.
you realize there's a whole section for you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we want to love on those fathers. We want to help them. Obviously, fathers have fears and concerns and questions just like the mothers do.
Yeah.
And so we want to be there to address them. And ideally, hopefully, we get a chance to share the gospel with them, disciple with them. We offer parenting classes, fatherhood classes, help provide for their physical needs as best we can, and just be there as an emotional resource to, a young man comes in, he has no idea, his life's changing, he's a dad.
Yeah.
Maybe he had a great father, maybe he had a bad father, but he's got questions. And right now there's not really any other place in Saline County for a father to come ask questions.
So let me ask you this question, Janet and Chris. For those skeptics who just maybe flipping channels and stopped, and they say, well, you faith-based people, y'all all the same. You're only interested in stopping abortion, and you're not there to help after you save this baby. Is that a true perception?
It's definitely a perception, but it's not true.
Right.
We really go overboard, I would say, to speak to society and say, we love people.
Yeah.
God made people,
Yeah.
and they all, the adults, the unborn, the toddler, image bearers of our Creator.
Yeah.
And we love them all. So
you're there
Yeah.
while they're pregnant, even if there's no man in the picture.
Absolutely.
And you're there to help them, even with supplies, diapers, etc., until the baby is at least 2. And then there's other governmental stuff like WIC and SNAP and those kind of things that come alongside.
Right.
But we're not just paying taxes, let the government handle everything. You trust government, but on my dollar bills it says trust God, I think, somewhere on there. So we'd love to get you involved, and if you'd like more information before we take this break, want to reemphasize, you can contact Chris or Janet at the New Beginnings. You can do that by telephone, you can walk in the office, you can go on the websites, and they're available to help and answer questions, not just for people in crisis, but those that want to come alongside like Chris is doing with Janet and her staff and make a difference in the lives of hurting people. That's what Christianity is all about, Jesus with skin. We're going to take a break and we're going to watch a video of children in waiting. We'll be right back.
And what do you want to be when you grow up?
A YouTuber, a gymnastics teacher, cheer. Well, I do cheers at school. Let's get a little bit rowdy, R-O-W-D-Y.
So good. Thank you so much for doing that.
Adopted. He's bald. My name is Monique. I'm 8.
Oh my goodness. Do you like getting your photos taken? You seem like you do.
Sometimes I like to color or go to the park and play or something like that. At school, I do very good. My favorite subject is math. My favorite animal is a duck
Why is that?
because the duck is always say quack quack, and it's yellow, and it's like to swim on top of the water so I can touch it. I wish for superpowers. I want to fly and a supervision, and I want to be invisible. If I had $1 million, I would spend my money and buy toys.
All right, let's talk about adoption. You said you do want to be adopted?
Mm-hmm.
What if we use our imagination and you imagine a family for you? What would you want them to be like?
I like to close my eyes when I imagine.
You want to close your eyes and tell us what you imagine with your family? All right. What do you imagine with your family?
I like to do whatever I want. I like to play with my toys and watch TV.
Welcome back to Second Chance Youth Ranch TV. That previous video with a child or a sibling group praying and asking for someone to become mom and dad. You could be that person, or maybe a friend or someone you go to church with. Would you share that information and let people know that we're on the air and help us get the word out? Many years ago, Janet and Chris, I called Victory Television Network and I said, there's a crisis in Arkansas. It's actually a national crisis in foster care. How can we reach people, certainly in the VTN audience, which is throughout the world now, but specifically in Arkansas, of what's available and how they can be a part, and how much we need them to be engaged in bringing solutions like Chris is doing with the dads, with you guys at New Beginnings. And he said, and Jim Grant said, the president of VTN, he said, well, let's do a weekly show. And so here we are, and the show has been embraced by our viewers. But I'd love to hear from you if you just let us know you're out there and that you do appreciate being informed about our guest. So let's look in this last segment. What if a young lady comes in, she believes she's pregnant, you do the jelly on the belly and confirm that she is, and she sees the heartbeat and the movements of that baby. What's next? What do y'all do to help her, and if the dad is involved, what's the process even unto delivery? What's that process in between and up to 2 years old? Just kind of walk me through.
Yeah. Well, the first thing is we get information from her, and she becomes our client, just like in a doctor's office.
Yeah.
So then we sit down and talk about how she feels about her pregnancy. Many times she's still working through the reality, and maybe she's not sure what she wants to do. And when a young lady's pregnant, she's got 3 options. She can parent, she can have an abortion, or she can place her baby in adoption. Mm-hmm. And she doesn't have 4 options. Those are it.
That's it.
And even in Arkansas, where we fortunately have very good pro-life laws, it's illegal to perform abortions in Arkansas. Abortions are happening, probably more than we had before Roe versus Wade was overturned, because of mail order chemical abortions. Mm-hmm. And I think those of us in the church need to be aware that young women are ordering the abortion pills very easily, very inexpensively on the internet, and then enduring an abortion by themselves at home.
And the post-abortion trauma that people don't understand, that is very, very real. Yeah. So, but isn't that why it's so important for Chris to get the men involved?
Absolutely.
In making a decision to have their child and come alongside us to help them parent their child? Do y'all do parenting?
We do.
Information in classes?
Yes, but in that first visit, it really is assessing where she is. Hopefully she's brought a partner with her and has support. And if so, then our fatherhood guys are going to be helping him, because we know, and I wish I could say the statistics, Chris might know, men are very influential.
Yeah.
And so she is being influenced by her support or her lack of support. Yeah. And so we want this guy to be very supportive, right? So you might speak into that first appointment time, but after that, we don't hold their hand physically through, they need to get in prenatal care if they're going to parent. But if she's going to choose abortion, we want her to know that she has a home with us. She can come back because we're going to love her. And
what kind of resources? Diapers?
Well,
Infamil, Similac, that kind of stuff?
Absolutely.
Baby food?
For if she's choosing parenting.
Yeah.
But if she's choosing abortion, we want her to know she can come back because God is welcoming her back.
Yeah.
And we are his instruments in that.
What would you tell a guy if he accompanies his sweetie pie and they're in that situation? What do you tell them, Chris, as far as what y'all can help him walk through this? Do y'all go through budgeting and how there are resources to help them provide?
I think the fathers, it's a range of what they need. I mean, the first thing we want to do is just be there and talk to them, kind of like Janet mentioned with the mothers. You know, how are you feeling about being a father?
Yeah.
Learn about the father. You know, what was his relationship with his father was like. Just kind of get an idea of what the man needs. And from there, we've got a variety of different resources to go based on what would be most helpful to him. It could just be kind of a mentor relationship where you come in and talk and, you know, we work through pregnancy. One of the things we do initially is make sure everybody has resources, like we've got a podcast and other videos and other resources that just help a guy understand pregnancy.
Yeah.
And what to expect. So, you know, this coming 5 weeks, this is kind of what you might see, which just helps the man respond and know where to be with that. And then beyond that, if he needs help with financial stability or work stability, personal finance things, absolutely, those are programs we're all putting together to help those young men be able to provide for their families. Because, you know, when I first spoke to New Beginnings, I think it's important. You know, New Beginnings is not just a pregnancy test ultrasound place. It's not. These ladies do so much more than that. And Janet brings up the abortion pills and that whole fight. You know, listen to their stories about what they do for young ladies. We're open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They do so much more beyond that.
All right, so we've got a minute left. Do y'all ever go out to churches or community events and share if somebody wanted to invite you to do that?
We would love to be invited to do that.
Yeah.
I really feel like, and come and see us.
Do y'all still do the baby bottles for coins?
We do.
I haven't seen those here recently.
can
Is
bring
Renee
some.
still working? Renee?
Renee is a volunteer when she can be.
All right, so
But yes,
If
we
you-
love to be invited to speak.
y'all bring baby bottles, and you can put those at your house and drop your coins in there. You can take them to your church if you own a business. You put them by the register. We've had them here, and I haven't seen those in at least a year. So will you get us some baby bottles, a couple of them?
Absolutely.
And we also have little canisters to help in our Jewish ministry. So we want people to take every opportunity to make a difference, and a few cents can save lives. If you're enjoying Second Chance Youth Ranch TV, would you stay in touch with us and let us know that? We'd love to hear from you. Also, right now, as we're getting ready to close, I'm going to put that information once again right here on the screen. Why don't you reach out to New Beginnings and let them know you're praying for them? Drop a little something in the mail or drop by and let them know that you want to know more of how you can save lives through this wonderful, wonderful faith-based ministry. God bless you. See you next week.